Good evening, players, and everybody watching. My name is Rabo. I will be your host this evening for this game of Candela Obscura. We'll go around the table, let everybody introduce themselves, but we'll meet their characters in game. So, whoever would like to start, go for it.
I can start. I've done this a couple times. Hey, my name's Tom, and I am playing Timothy Harris.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Gilbank, and I'm playing Jasper Quinn.
Oh, are we moving left and right? Okay.
Something
My
like
name
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Just jumping in.
We're free-forming.
Yeah. I'm Diver. I am an intergalactic, interdimensional, transplanar interloper who appears on Restless Barbarian Gaming from time to time. I will be playing the eminent Rene Duchalet today, everybody's world-famous magician, and looking forward to playing this system, Candela Obscura, for the first time. So, see what happens.
You and me both.
Right. Hey, my name is Franklin Ludgood, and I'm playing the character Sebastian Cooper. He's the doctor.
You're
Kind of quiet.
You're a little quiet.
All right, I will try to talk louder. Do I need to do that again?
Yeah,
A little bit more.
I'm Gwen Jacobs, and I'm playing Sedena Maxwell.
Much better.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I get it. So this being a lot of first times for everybody, this first game will probably be a little bit slower so that we make sure everybody understands. It's also my first time running this game as well. So we'll make sure everybody feels comfortable. We'll make sure everybody understands the roles, but we also want to tell a good story too. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is assignment number 6491, The Missing Jeweler. Wet. Wet, cold, and dark. Bubbles from an unknown source float up to the surface. We follow them to the top. Breaking the surface of the water, we see a shipyard. We go past the ships to the warehouses where the workers can be seen hustling around, weaving in and out. We see that it is the time of day where work has ended and the workers are closing the warehouses, heading to their homes, the pubs, the hotels. Who knows what they're doing in this town of New Fair? But one hangs around. They seem to have a mission. They walk up to a warehouse. They knock. An exchange is had and a door opens. We see the thin beam of light as the door opens, shines out, illuminates this person as they walk in, and the door shuts behind them. As the camera pans up to the night sky, as we hear a scream rise from the warehouse, joined by an odd roar. Welcome to New Fair. Welcome specifically to Hollow Harbor. This is where our meeting place is. However, maybe our characters are in a different location. Maybe they're at the house already. We'll see where they all lie. Let's start with Renee. Where would Renee be?
Well, he would probably be. He's a pretty social person. After he's performed, if that's what happened during the day, he will probably be at the pub, sharing insights and tales of his magical exploits, and over some drinks that of course he has a habit of not paying for himself. And so yeah, he has usually very little trouble getting someone else to pay for them for him. So he takes advantage of that and his good looks and his winning personality. So yeah, he's expounding and extrapolating on various exploits and magical tricks that he's pulled off, and that he's been in this for years and years and knows all kinds of things. And just in generally, running through a few simple card tricks with people, like impressing them right there at the bar and that sort of thing. Just making a scene of himself. Is kind of what he's doing.
So the bartender, she comes up to you. She holds yet another drink.
Yes, of course.
She looks at you and she goes, "Here you go, Renee, another drink for you. Yet again, somebody else is paying for your drinks. I don't know what kind of magic you weave, but you've got to teach me this."
This
Here
time.
you go. It was a good set. I see you're performing a little bit here. I'll leave you to it. You can get whatever you need. If you need me, you know how to get a hold of me.
Of course. And if he's been in the area for a little bit, he probably knows her on a first name basis, and just keep it coming, that sort of thing. And to anyone else, it might look like he's drinking more than he should. So yeah, but he doesn't seem to mind. He's more intent on just finishing whatever he's got in front of him. So
So let's see. Why don't you? Let's say you've got a couple people around you. Let me pull up something right here. How about you give me? Oh, come on! This is not the time to be slow, computer. Let's go. Why don't you give me? Would be a good one.
I'm assuming you're going to make me roll.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make you roll. We're gonna make you roll something. Why don't you say you're doing some card tricks? So let's see that sleight of hand. Let's see that hide roll.
Sounds good. So that is, I believe that's one of his gilded actions.
Okay.
So he's got now. You're going to have to help me because I have never used demiplane for this before. So you can walk me through this.
That's fine. Absolutely. So where you see hide,
Yep.
you'll go over to these three little dots to the side.
Okay.
Okay. You'll click those. If you want to use drive, you can, or you can just click the roll button.
I'm just going to click the roll button.
And then you tell me what you get.
All right. So I got a 2 on the gilded die and a 3 on the non-gilded die.
Oh, so
not great.
No, unfortunately not. So while shuffling and doing your
He's had a little too much to drink. Is what is the problem here?
No, that's great. So you've started to realize that maybe you have had a couple too much. So you start shuffling, you start showing your card tricks, your cardistry, you throwing them up, catching it. All of a sudden you go to shuffle one more time just to make sure everything is just the way you planned it, and then the cards fall.
Just spray all over the place. Yeah.
Just the worst luck you can imagine. Of course, the crowd around you is just like, oh, this didn't happen on stage. So I'll leave you to deal with that.
He's gonna be like, oh no, that was part of the performance. That's an extra flourish I do, after like that I don't perform on stage. That's just part of the trick, everyone. That's nervous laughter.
Nervous laughter. So right after that, give me a sway. See what that.
Gonna roll with that. All right.
See what your tongue gets you.
Let's see what we do here. All right. Okay, that's no better. He's not starting off great. It's clear that again the alcohol is playing its role here, and it's his performance, his swaying words, normally very convincing, not so much now.
Did we at least get a 4?
Hey, I got 2 2s.
Oh no!
Yeah. So he's
so
slurring his words. Yeah.
they hear this and they start breaking up. You kind of realize that it's might be time to call it a day.
Yeah.
you seem to think that maybe your magic has run out a little bit.
It has, yeah. It's just one of those things where you can tell that the room has chilled just a little bit. You know, he's reading the room insofar as he can while it sways back and forth. His equilibrium is all off, and he's like, yeah. There's not normally those impressed faces that he's used to, and the sparkle in their eye out of mana. So yeah, definitely. He's going to stumble off his stool. The bartender and him are good friends, and she can take care of the tab or keep a hold of it, for future.
Oh yeah, she's just like, I see it's that time, huh?
You're right, exactly. So and he's gonna bump into people like as he's stumbling out and just make a general ass of himself. So yeah.
that last person you bumped at the door on the way out seems like one of your pockets got a little heavier.
Oh. Okay. He's going to find his way outside the door and then maybe like reach for it and oh, this seems like I got something in my pocket that I didn't have before, and just kind of in a swaying sort of way, pick it out of his pocket.
So it seems to be just like a little bit of just like, it's really weird. It's like attached to a bag of marbles is a little note. Why a bag of marbles? I don't know. But they definitely wanted you to notice that this was there.
Yeah.
There's a little note that says, "We have to meet at the base."
Okay.
And it has the Candela patch like stamped right there.
And I'm sure he's familiar with that. He knows what it is and everything. And his eyebrows are going to go up. Oh, a secret message, an impromptu meeting of some import. And then he's going to lean up against the side of the bar and just purge himself. It's no good, it's all over the street. And then he's gonna like, all right, on my way. I'm right as rain now. So he's gonna continue to stumble along the streets and make his way to the meeting place.
All right, so we'll leave Renee on his way to the base.
Yeah.
And we'll pan out and we'll go to, who do we want to go to next? Let's go to Sedina. How about that? What would Sedina be doing?
She would be doing what she normally does on days like this. She's hip deep in books in the library, as many as they will allow her to read, and the ones that aren't, terribly restricted. But she's been purging some information into her brain, and she might be drunk on information. So. But if she does happen to see like some of the Candela members wandering around, she might, take to following them and imparting whatever little bit of information she finds fascinating. And really, she'll pass by somebody, stop for a second, and say something like, "The average person walks past 36 murders in their lifetime," and then she'll walk off, go back.
And then, of course, that person's just like, wait, what? So you're hanging out. You're hanging out at the library, basically. All right. So that's great.
She doesn't go out back.
What's
She doesn't go out back.
right? So going through the stacks, you see all sorts of, like you said, all sorts of different people just walking through, and of course you spout your end of the facts, and you know a lot of the people that work here, obviously, since you're here most of the time. And one of the newer young gentlemen come up to you and goes, "Miss Maxwell, we just got this amazing book come in just recently. I figured you'd want to see it. It's like a new adventure book. It's about a faraway land and places, and it seems interesting."
Is it a made-up story, or is it factual?
Oh, it might be made up. I forget. I'm usually the one that has a feeling for going to different places, and I forgot you based on facts. Forgive me, ma'am.
There's a lot of different places to explore, but some of them are made up and those are fun. But I like the facts.
Yes. Forgive me. I have forgotten my play, and so he takes his book and he goes back to hopefully find somebody else to.
Before he leaves, she's like, but, and she goes and she rummages through some of the piles of books that she's stacked and made into towers of Babylon or something, and she will pull out a small leaflet, book pamphlet, and it's an adventure book about pirates, and she hands it over to him. "This you will like."
Excellent, thank you. And he scurries away. So you're going through and looking at the spines of these books, trying to figure out what kind of knowledge you can gather this time. When you're looking, and then all of a sudden it seems like, and when I say seems like, a book does actually just kind of push towards you. Now, obviously, you take it out, and obviously there's somebody on the other side, and they're just like, "I figured you'd like this one," and then they just walk away.
Okay, I look at the book.
So this is one of the multiple books about Old Fair, which is where New Fair is built on top of Old Fair. So this is one of those books that has speculation. However, there's, as you know, within speculations, there are usually some nuggets of truth. So this one just kind of goes through, some of the stuff that's already known in Old Fair, but also has some, like, maybe just some like, well, we know that this is from this timeline. However, we can always speculate that maybe according to this, that this also connected to this person, and kind of leaning more towards um, this one's like towards the coast, towards like where the shipyard and under the glass sea, where some of that stuff just is, like I said, is right below all that. So it's a nice little book you could get some information out of. Um, and while you're looking at that, one of the head librarian comes up. Um, uh, her name is Gwynedd. She comes, she looks at you and goes, "Ah, come back for more knowledge, huh?
Where else would I be?
Not too many other places."
Nothing as interesting as the library.
Of course. Anything specific we're searching for today?
I think ghosts is what I'm particularly looking for.
The remnants of people, or more poltergeist and demons?
Probably more emanations that locate at a particular location.
She goes, "I think we have something over here." She leads you back towards one of the rows. She seems to know her way around, obviously. She grabs a book. You see the title of this one is right along pretty much what you were asking for. And she goes, "I think you'll find this helpful."
Thank you. I have books for the rest of the day.
Very well then. Well, if there's anything else we can help with, please let us know.
I will. Or, you know me, I tend to find things myself. It's easier that way.
Of course. She walks away, and you keep she walks away, and you keep either searching through the books they gave you or searching through the stacks themselves. When all of a sudden a cloaked figure approaches. Let's see. Why don't you give me a survey?
Oh boy. Oh, I actually have a dice in that. Woohoo!
Hey,
Oh,
it's a
6.
6. Perfect. Being that you are in a familiar place, and you are usually a keen observer when you're in someplace familiar, you seem to notice that this gentleman doesn't. I mean, he sticks out a little bit, but you can tell that something's awfully familiar about him. And then you take a look around his neck, where just the vein, just like the little sliver of a medallion that he wears, just kind of peeks up out of his cloak. And just within like a couple of seconds, you recognize that that's that tip of that Candela Obscura insignia, which are usually, obviously they're kind of keep secret to a lot of people. This one just happens to be peeking out a little bit. He just walks up to you, and he goes, "I see you're finding more information. Would you like to put that information to use?
I would love to. That would be lovely. Yes, I would.
He gives you a slip of paper that tells you a place within the Hollow Harbor, and he goes, "This is where you will meet your circle."
A circle? I have a circle? You're giving me a circle? Oh, okay. Is Hollow Harbor out of this building?
Yes.
I don't suppose anybody would help me get there. I've never
Would you
really-
like me? Would you like me to accompany you?
Yes, that would be lovely. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Don't worry. The Lightkeeper already had that plan.
Yay. What's your name?
My name is Zen.
Zen. Okay, I'm ready to go where you
I'll be your guide.
are. Circle.
And so you leave with him, and he will take you there, and from there we'll move on to the next one. I think we'll hit up old Jasper. What would Jasper be doing?
I think Jasper would be making some rounds around town, roaming the streets, looking for something to make the day more interesting.
And what would Jasper find more interesting?
Anything unusual, anything other than normal life circumstances. Ideally a crime scene, but one mustn't get their hopes up.
Well, it's kind of rough, especially in New Fair, to follow a whole lot of crime scenes just with the different factions trying to cover them up. But there are some. Let's see what your luck wields you. Why don't you give me a survey,
Okay.
and we'll see where your luck takes you.
So going off of the gilded roll, that's a 5.
That's a 5. That will be a mixed success. Excellent. So usually crimes are not really told out loud. They try to keep those downs between the factions in New Fair. Excuse me, man. However, something is leading you to the docks, to the shores, to the warehouses. Like, it seems like there's just a lot more foot traffic than usual. So that stands out as odd for you. Let's do a hide. Let's do a hide.
Ooh, that's a 2.
So you come to the warehouses. You're kind of going through. You're kind of looking through. And like I said, it is just a little bit busier. It is the start of kind of the morning, this day where workers are just coming in. But that
Can I get Kenzie my card to go run a small bag of rice?
excuse me, hold on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a moment.
A 2 on a hide roll. Ooh.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. My stuff going on at the house. Anyway, so you're in the warehouse, just trying to blend in because I know you don't want to cause any excitement. You don't want to bring attention to yourself when you're trying to get into this group of workers to seem like you're coming in. That was obviously the wrong group of workers to blend in because they did not like whatever you were bringing in. They're just like, hey, what are you? And you can tell that maybe they've already done a little drinking, or it's just the stuff from last night. But they don't like the cut of your jib. So they're just like, hey, you can't. We're trying to work here, and it's just like, how are you going to get this work done if you're already this like how this breath is making you drunk just smelling it?
My apologies. I'll just be moving right along. I got lost.
Yeah, you move right along. Let the workers do their jobs. And so, you've got a couple eyes on you, but nobody's really making a move. But you do see that while it does look like there are people going to their jobs, it does seem like one warehouse in general is just kind of like, I wouldn't necessarily say being avoided, but it's not as busy as the other ones. So you kind of clock that, but then all of a sudden somebody comes up to you and goes, I haven't seen you before. Why are you here?
I came down looking for work.
Work, huh? Well, I mean, there's plenty of that to be had around. Usually people don't skulk around looking for work. They head to one of the main buildings to talk to some of the managers or overseers. And you can tell, and this gentleman is wearing a good kind of suit, and you can see this badge, and you've seen this badge before. You've been in New Fair for a bit. This is one of the OUPs, the Office of Explained Phenomenon. So you see their star badge, and their uppity attitudes. Like the main house is right over there.
Oh, well, thank you kindly. I've been wandering around these docks for a long time. Could you tell me why that warehouse over there seems to be particularly unbusy at this hour?
Well, I could, but I won't.
I see. Very charming. Well, I'll just be on my way.
You better be. I got my eye on you.
And Jasper will just tilt his hat in a polite gesture with a quick smile, and promptly turn and head towards the main house.
So you get to the building, and you can tell that this is definitely the place where yeah, they've got people that do work, and these people probably have done work at some point, but this is definitely the office building. This is where the people tell you what to do, not necessarily do the work that the other guys do. So the question is, do you enter or do you sneak away?
I think I'll take the opportunity to sneak away.
All right. Do me another hide roll. Let's see if your luck goes a little bit better.
Oof, it did not. That's a 3.
All right. So you attempt to sneak away, heading out of the warehouse area, or were you trying to go deeper in again?
I think I would try to go in deeper one more time.
All right. So you take a look. You don't see anybody around. You try to go deeper in again. When this time you get a little ways in, however, you trip over something, and you immediately get right up and turn around, and there's a gentleman in a cloak. Man, you just couldn't help yourself, could you, Jasper? And the cloak comes down, and you've noticed it's one of your friends from Candela.
I've got a healthy appetite for curiosity.
Well, luckily enough, your circle has an assignment for you.
Finally, some excitement around here.
And luckily enough, it's time to head that way. So why don't we head that way and meet up with your circle so you can get your orders, so that you don't get yourself in trouble again.
No promises there. That's all right.
So we'll cut from there, and you head also to the hideout. We'll go to Sebastian. What would Sebastian be doing?
So, as we cut in, we'll notice Sebastian. He is asleep at a desk, and he's dreaming. We see yells, we see flashes of light, we see soldiers maimed, hurt, and all of a sudden he wakes up. There's a pounding at his door. Looks around, composes himself. As you can see the desk, he's got medical records all over the place. He gets up, composes himself, he walks to the door, and there is a nurse, alerting him to the fact that somebody has come to see him. He nods and strictly heads to the front. So Sebastian has a small clinic in the Varnish. He is the he is the head doctor there, and he's got some people working underneath him. But as of right now, the clinic is closed. Right, so he's not seeing anyone, and he walks up to the front and he notices somebody there.
So, as your nurse brings you up, there's the other person that you see is female presenting, and she seems like her arm is in a sling. So her arm is covered as a normal sling would, covering most of her forearms. You can see her hand, and she looks at you and she goes, "I know you're closed. However, I could really use the help, and you are the closest clinic that I could get to."
And Dr. Cooper nods his head and says, "That's fine." He turns to the head nurse and asks her to take her to a room.
"Yes, Dr. Cooper." And she takes her away. As she's walking away, give me a read.
Okay. Okay, roll. Let's see. Oh, is that? Yeah, I think that's a 6 on the gilded.
Oh, perfect. Well, I mean, you didn't spend any drives. However, you notice as they're walking away, you notice a slight twitch from just around the shoulders of her arm that's in the sling. So you're not quite sure that it's completely, incapable of moving. However, that twitch just kind of sets something in the back of your brain going, I don't know, this may be not quite up to par. You've had medical training. Something just doesn't seem right. But she takes her into that room and she's waiting for you.
All right. So I enter behind and I close the door behind us. The lady. I start grabbing my instruments to try to examine her and whatnot, and I begin to ask her, if you don't mind, could you please tell me about your injury?
Yes. Well, it's kind of hard to describe. I was walking along and somebody grabbed me, and I wasn't able to see them, and then I got knocked out, and I woke up, and my arm was already in a sling, and it hurts. I don't know quite what happened.
So Dr. Cooper asks, do you mind if I examine it?
Please, I haven't had the stomach to take it out of the sling. I don't want to look at it just in case, something happened, and it just hurts so much that that I didn't want to move it, but the time that it took to walk here, the pain has went down a little, and I think I can. I think I can, with your help. I think I can get it out of this sleep.
Okay. So Dr. Cooper slowly approaches the patient, starts to remove the sling ever so gently.
So as you remove the sling, you can see that her clothes are fine. Like there's no rips, no tears, no nothing that you can see visually. However, once you get down to where like her her skin would be, you start to see streaks of like black. However, they're definitely like disappearing. They're like going away. Like it seems like to you they were once a darker color, but it seems like they're lightening because you can see the grayness, getting lighter and lighter. It's not something that is wholly unfamiliar to you. I mean, being in New Fair, you've seen, especially as a doctor, you've seen some stuff, and especially working with Candela, you've seen a lot of stuff. So something grabbed this woman, something with just a hint of bleed.
Okay.
Some sort of magic. And her arm drops, and you can tell that she can move it a little bit, but you can tell when she does move it, her face winches in that pain.
Okay. So let me think. So Dr. Cooper sees the arm and whatnot, and like you said, he's noticing bleed. He's trying to broach this subject very cautiously. He doesn't believe her story. So he asks again, so you said somebody grabbed you?
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing, Doc. I don't know how I got to be close to your clinic, because the last thing I remember, I was down in the shipyard, down around the warehouses.
So Dr. Cooper asks, do you remember how long ago that was?
I don't. My memory has been messed with or something. I just remember, the last thing I remember is walking, going home, and you can tell her hand. She's a working woman. Like, I was getting ready to go home after a day's work, and I just got grabbed.
So Dr. Cooper asks, if you don't mind, what do you do for a living exactly?
Well, I work at the warehouses. I'm one of the many workers who just moves products in and out. That's my hands are rough. That's all we can do around there. That's what we do to make our living. But I knew I was close by here, so I was just walking around, hoping to find some sort of clinic or doctor before I went back and try to find someplace to take me back home. No, nobody missed me when I was at home. It's just myself. But what what is this?
So Dr. Cooper, like you said, it's bleed. He doesn't want to tell her that.
No, and you have, since this is your clinic, you do have a direct phone to your home base. So,
Okay, I got you. So he pats her on her good shoulder and says, "I want you to hold tight. I'll be right back." He exits the room and goes to the head nurse. Dr. Cooper has seen the bleed before, and he does have some stuff in his clinic that can help with that.
bleed containers.
Yeah. So he tells the nurse to go get them. And he immediately goes to his office, sits down, picks up the phone, and gets in contact with the Lightkeeper.
It's not going to be the Lightkeeper. It's going to be your normal contact. You've talked to the Lightkeeper before. However, you've got a normal contact. Their name is oh gosh, got to think of it. Sorry.
Chuck.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, their name is Chuck. Sorry, I had it and then I lost it. Their name is Chuck.
Chuck.
So yeah, they're hilarious. So you pick up the phone and you hear the gruff voice of Dr. Cooper. Are you okay?
I'm doing fine. However, I have a patient here that's clearly been exposed to magic.
Mm.
She said she was from Hollow Harbor, one of the warehouses there. Is there anything happening there that I should know about?
Actually, I was just getting ready to call you. Your Lightkeeper has assembled your circle. They found a last member for your circle, and they have a mission for you. I can send the normal procedure to your clinic to help with this patient, so that we can get her to a safe place and help her out, so that she won't remember anything. All safe, mind you, while you meet up with the rest of your circle.
Fair enough. Okay. I will be there shortly.
Okay, I'll send the normal procedure. I'll send the guys on their way.
Thank you. Dr. Cooper hangs up the phone. He goes back into the room. There's a nurse with the equipment and whatnot. He starts the procedure to help with the bleed and whatnot, and told her that
you can get a good vial in of bleed if you want to take it with you.
I can do that?
Yeah.
All right. If you don't mind, I will.
No, you can take absolutely.
And I explained to her that some people are going to come to help her out, and she is going to stay here in the meantime. I turned to the nurse and I told her, and I'm going to tell her, I have to go. Take care of the place while I'm gone. Make sure our patient is well fed and well taken care of.
She understands, obviously. If you're connected with Candela, completely understands what you're saying. And literally, as you're walking out, you see the two normal guys coming in to help with this. So just an exchange of, how you doing,
Yep.
and
So
you're on your way
with
out.
yeah, with that, he puts on his black derby hat and gathers up all his stuff and walks out into the night.
Which then brings us, last but not least, to Timothy. What's Timothy doing?
He's actually at a kind of what the equivalent of like a VFW would be, kind of one of the more older, library-looking places where old men sit around and smoke cigars and
Tell their old war stories.
Exactly. And he's actually one of the younger guys there, but he enjoys going there because he likes being around vets. There are people who understand like what he's gone through. He's sitting in kind of a high back leather chair. He got a cup of tea next to him, and he's just reading the paper, probably looking at the cricket scores or something like that. Just kind of calmly, just reading the paper in his happy place, as he thinks of it. So
And just as normal, as you're sitting here, just listening to stories, because this great war just ended. So everybody's got their stories, whether it be stories of revelry, stories of sadness, or made up stories that kind of make people look better than what they do. You've heard it all. Every single story, every single bit. And it's just like you said, this is your normal place, and the great thing about this is you guys are around people that you've been around for ages. So it's just once a military man, always a military man. And so nobody worries about trauma or anything here. It's all just stories. It's all just a bunch of guys and girls and whoever just hanging out, sharing stories, having fun, smoking, drinking, playing some card games, whatever, to just take their minds off of the normal day-to-day of a civilian life that they're trying to transition to after this war, which everybody knows is hard. So you've got your normal, you've got your elderly folks, that elderly military that it's akin to one of those, well, back in my day we didn't have, and you just roll your eyes because you've heard the back in my day story
at least 100 times.
And so
there goes Edgar.
Yeah, it's just those guys being, and then you've always got this bravado, just, I was captain of this rank, and they've got the captain wrong and the rank wrong, and they're just trying to buff themselves up to make them look better, and you've gotten tired of correcting people, so it's not even worth it anymore. When all of a sudden you see a little, definitely just a little bit younger than you, just sit down right next to you and kind of looks at you real quick and goes, because I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I do like your stories. You seem to be one of the only ones who tells true stories about what happened, and they just kind of make me feel a lot better about this nasty war. And you can tell this younger gentleman wasn't really a soldier. Maybe have been maybe the kid of a soldier, but he's not super young, but he's not super old yet. She's like, do you mind if you tell another story?
Just make sure you leave enough fries for Kinsey and Robert.
There was a time there wasn't enough fries.
None. It's nonstop in my house. I apologize.
We had to make do with the potatoes that we had. He's like, I'm just kidding. He's like, I don't know what kind of story you want to hear.
Just any. You seem to have the best stories, and like I said, you don't embellish. It seems, for me, you tell the truth.
There's no glory in it. There's, I could tell you how many of the enemy, we killed that day, and we held that little small patch of dirt for 6 hours against relentless enemies, and in the end it was just a patch of dirt, and a lot of good men and women died, and I survived, and it's hard to come up with what kind of glory there would be in that. What's your name, son?
My name is Thomas, sir.
Thomas. Timothy. He'll just kind of put out a hand to shake his hand.
She shakes.
What brings you here? Did you serve?
No, sir. I usually come along with my mother. My mother is the one that serves. I just like listening. I like listening to the stories, especially the truthful ones. And for some odd reason, I've always had this knack to tell the truthful ones from the boasting ones. And I just know you are one of the ones to tell more the truthful ones than the boasting ones.
Yeah. I see no point in sharing things that didn't happen. Maybe as I get older, as I start to forget things, I'll make things up, but I hope not. I hope to tell the truth when I'm asked, and otherwise, I'll be honest, sometimes I don't like to share it at all, but it's who I am now.
Yeah,
it's made me the man the army said I would become.
And that's I guess that's why I come here often, because I know I have the chance of seeing you here. Thank you for your time. I hope that next time I come around that I can catch another one of your stories.
We'll see.
I'm gonna go find my mom and see how she's feeling right now.
Who's your mom?
Stephanie.
Stephanie. Well, he knows Stephanie?
No.
Okay.
She's okay. She's not one. She's like you. She likes to come and hang out and just tell her stories. Nothing that no weird nothing's going on. Just I like to hear other stories besides hers. So she trusts me to walk around.
Okay then. He's gonna kind of just pick up his paper, kind of like, all right,
Yeah,
I'm ready to get back to reading.
And he scurries off.
A young man becoming old quickly. So.
Yeah, he scurries off. He's like you said, you've seen him around.
Yeah.
These children do love the stories, even though they can be heartbreaking at times. So you keep rifling through your newspaper, and something kind of glances at the corner of your eye. Let's see. Give me. Let's see here. Give me a survey, if you would.
Bless you. Oof. I got a 1.
One.
I just started tonight.
Yeah. Hey. You know, it's just how it happens. Well, something catches you out of the corner of your eye, but you think it's
Hopefully not a hook.
You know,
So
no, it's not. It's not anything. It's not anything dangerous. It's not. Right now, you just think it's nothing because it's not. You know, it was there and it's gone. Maybe it's a flash. You've seen photographers here. You've seen. Maybe it's just somebody taking a picture. So nothing that draws you away from your.
kind of just rubs his eyes. Maybe he's just been reading too long. Takes a sip of tea. It's gone cold. So.
Yeah. So you keep reading, and you see that one of the stories kind of pops out at you as something that seems odd. It's kind of a letter to the editor kind of thing, you know, that you see sometimes in a newspaper, like, you know, maybe the editor found this funny, so they wanted to run it, or you know, maybe it's just one of the things that I was treated poorly at this restaurant, and this editor was not a big fan of that restaurant. This one seems a little different. It seems like it seems just like a lot of strange things happening around New Fair, and you obviously know this because of your work with Candela Obscura. You're relatively new in the circle, but you've seen some things, and because they got you right after your time in the war. So you read this story, and the story reads like one of the missions that it seems like other circles would go on. Like, it just seems like people disappearing and mysterious causes, and you know, something about the IUP or the Red Hand, you know, names that or the OUP, excuse me, names that for you stick out, but for everybody else it's just like the Red Hand. Come on, nobody believes that. But this one covered the eons, and specifically it was during the world expedition. It seems like there were some presentations that Eons was doing, and Eons is short for the Esoteric Order of New Sciences. It seems like they were doing some odd, like, displays and stuff at the world exhibit. Just and this gentleman was trying to figure out a lot of the sciences behind this, but nothing was working out for him. And what he claims is that he went up to one of the Eon's representative, and literally took him and made sure that he wasn't going to tell anybody anything if he found out. It seems like they questioned him for ages to make sure he didn't accidentally stumble on anything. Like, this man, while to the normal person it looks like ranting, to you it looks like this guy went through something. You've seen war. You've seen people get kidnapped. This is reading just like a kidnapping, and you're getting into this story when all of a sudden a hand lightly lands on your shoulder.
He'll, without skipping a beat, he's like, I'm trying to read here.
Yes, Timothy, I understand. And you look up and around, and it's one of your fellow Obscura members that you've seen at the hideout.
Are they?
But I've been.
Are you a
told
member
to-
here?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, a soldier like you. But I've been told that your circle has become full, and it's time.
Okay. He'll fold up the paper because he wants to continue reading this, and he also wants to show this to the circle.
Absolutely.
Okay. Takes a last sip of his tea. It's gone cold, and kind of gets on his coat and all his traveling gear, which I guess he takes everywhere with him. And I assume he has like a bag of holding or something like that. He just keeps it all in. So
probably your rucksack from the military.
And we'll
They carried everything in there.
Yep, and we'll head towards the door to go meet with his circle.
All right. So, as you guys travel down, you get to Hollow Harbor. You get to down this staircase of this house that is nonchalant in looks, but you guys know. Well, you that are part of the group already knows, whereas Sedina's being introduced to this randomly, just like normal house. Seems perfectly normal. When you go in, however, you see your escort grab a book, but doesn't take it all the way off the shelf and just lets it go. And it clicks back. The bookcase moves aside, and he goes, "Welcome. Come on in. The Lightkeeper will be here shortly." You walk in, you see everybody around the table, and this is where you guys can introduce yourselves to each other while the Lightkeeper is on their way. So as you guys have all entered roughly around the same time, the last one coming in was Sedina, and she was led. So you know that she is the last one and the newest member of your circle.
So I was gonna ask, I want to make sure everybody knows each other except for Sedina, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Sedina Maxwell.
You're brand new.
Um,
They showed you through the secret bookcase.
that was cool. I want to
Isn't
try
it
that.
though? Right? Every secret hideout needs a bookcase that you pull the. Remember the book. Okay, there's a bunch of them on the case. I sometimes forget, and I end up pulling all the books off the shelf before I get the right one. Yeah.
Noted. Thank you. Who are all of you?
You stand before the magnificence that is René du Chalet. I'm sure you've seen me around. I'm sure you've heard of me in town, and I am perhaps the most famous member of our very well, hidden group, as it were. I'm the face of this organization. I should just come right out and say it. Yeah.
You're the loudest. I've got that. Thank you.
If you want to see if you've recognized anything about him, you are more than welcome to roll a focus roll.
And you got bonus dice on that and everything else because he's super famous. Yeah.
I have 2 dice in focus. I'm good at focusing. 4. I don't pay attention a lot. Sorry.
So yeah, you being a very very much I guess you would call it kind of agoraphobic, like in where you're used to, you don't get out as much. So the name might sound familiar, however, you haven't seen anything. And like I said, it might be a little bit back there, but more than likely, nah.
I haven't really been out much.
You haven't been to one of my shows. I understand. I do. Let me take the opportunity to introduce to you all of our illustrious group. We have the doctor over here, Dr. Cooper. We have Jasper here, who has a penchant for finding himself in sordid and unsavory places and various forms of criminal activity. And then we have our veteran over here, Mr. Harris. He's seen some shit. Yeah. Been in it. But very decorated. Has wonderfully authentic stories that I feel would benefit from a little bit of polish, as it were. But he tells no lies. Yeah, he gives it to you straight. And of course, there's me. And again, I'm sure you've heard of me. You just haven't been to one of my shows, and that's understandable. But you ought to come. In fact, he's going to rummage into his pockets or whatever, and he's going to he's going to flourish a golden ticket. Front row seats right here. You will actually get to be 5 feet from the rabbit the next time I pull it out. So yeah, there you go. And he's going to hand it to Sedina.
You got a golden ticket.
What?
Welcome. What is it that you're interested in? What do you do?
I study the spirits, and I know quite a number of things. But
spirits, you say? I've been into a lot of spirits already tonight. Let me tell you, it's still coursing through my system. Yeah.
I don't know if I understand what you're talking about.
Oh, you haven't been around to the best bars here either.
No.
Oh, we need to just spend the whole night together. Like you come to a show, and then I'll introduce you to this bartender. We go way back, and they really love me there. And you'd have a blast. And drinks are on me. We can, yeah. She's really good at her job. She can mix anything up that you need. All the spirits you can think of.
Settle
You-
down, Renee.
Showers after you have the spirits on you? Sounds very messy. I don't think I'd like that.
Oh, no, it's fine. And you know what, Mr. Harris? I hear you. I will, I just wanted to introduce Sedina here to the rest of our crew. And
You don't need to introduce her to your type of fun.
well, see what I mean?
Please have a seat, Miss Maxwell.
Thank you. I take out the book that was slid to me at the library, and I actually read the title of it, and I sit and look at it. Well,
The spirit one. Is that the one you're reading?
first one, there was a book that was slid.
Oh, the old fair one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The new findings of Old Fair.
Ooh, yes. I will flip through that while I'm paying attention. I'm just looking from the book to everybody, waiting for people to say something.
So while everybody else was aware of it, Sedina, you didn't realize that at the back of the room there's a door, and that door has now slowly opened up, and you see this figure in the light coming through. He kind of hunched over, but he's pretty tall, probably about 6 foot, but still has a little bit of a hunch. And he walks in, and you hear the sound of a cane hitting every so often with his steps. And he just walks in. He comes to the head of the table, and you see this older Asian gentleman, beard way down. Like, this man has been working on this for years. Just the glorious, like, Fu Manchu into the beard, and it just keeps going. And he slowly steps around the chair, pulls it out, sits down. I see you all have arrived safely. Welcome, Miss Maxwell. Hopefully, we can put your services to work. I appreciate you all getting here with the haste that you did. Miss Maxwell, my name is Lightkeeper Zhao Lang. That is Xiolang.
Thank you for inviting me to the circle. I appreciate it.
Of course, I have noticed that your study of spirits, not the drinking kind, Renee, always helps in this world that we live in that seems on the break between the living and the not. But we do have a case. We were monitoring this world exhibit, and something about the eons and the presentations kind of hit us in an odd way. And we sent one of our operatives in and have not heard from him in a while. Last we knew, he was down around the warehouse. Around the warehouses, excuse me. But that's the last we got of him. And I know this story has been pushed away, but we need to figure out where our operative is. This operative has been with us for a while. He's usually one of the first to go in. And it's just, it's very odd for us to not hear from him in quite some time.
Timothy is going to reach into his coat pocket and pull out the newspaper and actually hand it to whoever's next to him, so that basically they can see the news story. He'll just like ask everybody to like pass it around.
I would share that otherwise off my
You know,
go ahead.
It's on like page 4 or 5, right? This entry, yeah, because on page 1 or 2 is a big spread about Renee's show.
Yeah, but
this is part of the reason it's on page 4 or 5 is because he buys the space.
But Timothy's real smart about it. When he handed it to you, it was already folded to that story.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's just like,
oh, I hadn't got to that page yet.
So, Lightkeeper's just like, I see you've seen one of the stories that we've seen, Timothy, in the paper. Absolutely. We've also been hearing some stories about people disappearing and being touched by bleed.
So
I'm sure, Dr. Cooper, you just had a run-in with that.
So Dr. Cooper is looking at the paper and the article, and his head picks up. He's like, as a matter of fact, there's a woman wandering around who entered my clinic with bleed. So he opens up his bag, he pulls out the vial, and shows it around, and he takes a bottle and hands it to Miss Sedona. I don't know if you have studied magic closely, but if you get exposed to it, you get bleed. He shows a bottle of it.
So
be very careful.
Yep. So what you're seeing is you're seeing a vial of the darkest liquid that you've seen. You thought that black was the darkest color that you've seen. This thing is darker than black.
It's absorbing light.
It seems like the light just goes into it.
Yeah.
Like it is dark. And you can tell it's a liquid. It moves when you move it. But this is weird even for you. You've never seen this kind of thing. And he just told you that it was in a person.
I've read about bleed before, but I've never really seen it up close. This is quite interesting. I mean, you say it came from a person?
Dr. Cooper just slowly nods. Yes.
What were the symptoms before you pulled the bleed out?
The normal. Coloring on the skin.
Were there veins running?
Yes.
Interesting.
So yeah, Dr. Cooper, you've seen this multiple times. It seems like it hits kind of like the bloodstream and it kind of seeps up through like the veins into the heart. So that's what you were kind of seeing. It was traveling through the veins underneath the skin and kind of pulsating through the layers of skin and muscle that we have as humans. Um, and so, like Keeper Shao speaks up again. Yes. So Operative Ronin is that's the one who is missing. Uh, so we wanted to send you guys to check on his whereabouts and see if you can't help him if he's in trouble or figure out why he's gone missing.
So, Dr. Cooper, he has out a pad. He's writing all this down. I know this is a dumb question, but I would like to know, do we know his last whereabouts? Anyone he talked to?
The only last whereabouts we knew was the warehouses right outside, close to the shipyards.
Okay. Do you know, was he there to meet a contact?
We're not 100% sure. He was tracing the Eon's information from this exhibition, and all of a sudden we lost contact. We've probably been out of contact for probably about a week or two.
Is this
Okay.
the same exposition that was in the newspaper report?
Yes, the world, the first yearly world exhibition.
Is it possible he just went on vacation? To say, I don't know, the Bridleborn Mountains or the Scarlet Wood or Haven Hills, without telling anybody. Just,
Well, usually we don't hire people to just walk out on an investigation. So,
yeah, you. That's probably a good point. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so I would assume not.
Okay.
However, I guess that is a possibility.
Speaking of investigation, Jasper, you that's your turf, right? The warehouses. I think you spend your nights and days around there sometimes. Yeah.
I happened to walk by there earlier today, and there was a bit of some odd activity, or rather the lack of activity. It would be a good place to start to find any further answers to the questions we currently have.
Is the exposition still going, or is that ended?
It's already ended.
Okay. So, where was the exposition itself held at again?
I'd have to look up exactly where in the book. So, talk amongst yourself. I will look.
The warehouse would be the first place that I would go. And you said this lady came from the warehouse that you treated?
Yes. I believe. She was, how do I say it? She was not herself.
How so?
The effect of the bleed.
You said she was not herself. What seemed off? She was a new patient of yours, right?
Yes. Well, she couldn't answer basic questions. How she got there, what happened to her. And in fact, I didn't even get her name.
Odd. Nope.
I always try to get the names of any nice person that I run across.
So Dr. Cooper just shoots a sharp look at him.
All right. I'd like to go into my memory and see if I can remember if bleed would cause amnesia or loss of memory.
Go for it.
All right.
That would probably be like a focus. I would assume.
2. I don't know.
Yeah. Doesn't really say where they held the world exhibition, so I'm gonna pick. This year, it was held in. I like that area. It was held. The first year was held in the Silver Slip. I like that one. That's where it was held.
Silver Slip. Okay, held in Silver Slip. Was it a museum, a hotel?
Let's see. That one has the Great War Memorial. So yeah, let's say it was just like an auditorium around the Great War Memorial.
Okay, Great War Memorial Auditorium.
And they had just like the World's Fair in Chicago, a bunch of different exhibitions, kind of this is the future, flying cars, robots.
So I've got a question to ask.
Weird science. Go ahead.
Would I have access to that to the lady that came to my clinic anymore, or is she just completely out of the picture?
She's probably already been taken back home and given the treatment to, help her kind of ease her mind and kind of just like forget, so that not a lot of word of this bleed gets out.
Okay.
I would imagine they did some questioning of her before that.
Yeah. So
They didn't find. I mean, it's not going to be much more than what you got.
okay.
To be honest.
One last question.
Absolutely.
Would I be able to recognize her if I saw her again?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Lightkeeper turns to you guys, and so I'll leave you to your investigation. Take whatever you deem necessary, and let us know what you find. And he gets up and he goes, I bid you all a good night. And then he just kind of walks away. You hear the horse, just the as he walks away.
So,
Renee's going to turn to Dr. Cooper once again, having already made a fantastic impression, and basically say, you know, in my own research to esoteric and psychiatric arts, from time to time, it's part of what I do is something of a study in psychoanalysis in a way. You could say that. And I've heard of this new technique that's going around, hypnosis, right? Have you heard of this, or is this something you practice in terms of your medical studies and things like that?
So Dr. Cooper, and he's kind of annoyed. He just kind of looks at him and says,
Renee's got to watch out already. It's like,
so he looks at him and he's like, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm a medical doctor.
I get those confused sometimes. They seem like, well, like one is like the other, and he's doing this with his hands and everything, and so I just thought maybe perhaps you might have read up on that and have been, into the new and really experimental techniques.
So, well, Dr. Cooper points out we've got two places. We can go down to the Great War Memorial Auditorium and start looking around and asking for questions. We can go to the harbor, see if we can pick up anything there.
It's worth noting that there seems to be a presence of the OUD down that way, over by the warehouses and harbor, so we'll have to find a way to accommodate their presence if we were to go over that way.
I don't think there'll be a problem. In fact, I'm gonna second the motion for the harbor. Like, as much as the expo is definitely interesting. It's over. I feel like just what you said there, Jasper, about those warehouses and the harbor and everything. Feels to me like all we really need to do is just kind of grease some palms there, and we'll get in, and it'll be fine. We'll be able to do whatever we need to do.
Well, for once, I agree with you. Your inclination towards chatter could come in handy.
I take small and slow steps, and I stand behind Timothy. I'm still in view of everybody. I can see everybody, but I'm making sure that Timothy is between me and everybody else.
Yeah. Timothy's just gonna nod when people are talking about going to the harbor. He just kind of agrees, and is probably keeping himself between Renee and Sedina, just to be a gentleman. So.
So, I think we have a consensus, right? We're going to the harbor first, right?
I think so.
Makes sense.
All right. So, you guys pack up, bring whatever you need, and you head to the harbor. Real quick, above the board question. How y'all feeling time-wise? Are we good? Go a little longer?
I'm okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason why I asked to come on, like, I got this whole night free. I'm not joking.
Well, we won't go that long. I just want to make sure everybody's comfortable. So
You go that long.
go that long. You don't need to sleep before work in the morning. Okay. If you insist. All right. Cool. All right. let's get to the warehouse district, or let's get to the warehouses. You guys arrive at the warehouses right around the time that you can tell the workers are heading out. It is getting about dark time.
Okay.
So that's the you all pop in there and you see all these. Some of them are lively and ready to go and revelry and drink, and we're not done yet today. We've got more time before we actually need to sleep. Or the ones that are just, I am so done with it today. I want to go home. I've got a bath with my name on it, and then I want to just forget this day ever happened. And everywhere in between, they're walking out and getting out of this. So that is what you see currently.
Okay. So I want to make sure we're outside the warehouse looking in, right?
Where there's just, this is a whole, like, basically a whole district of warehouses. It's called the Brine Wash Warehouses.
Brine Wash Warehouse. All right.
Okay.
All right. Let me know if I ask too many questions.
You're absolutely fine. So you've got a whole bunch of warehouses, and this is where, like I said, where people unload the ships, put them into the warehouses to get ready. They work real closely with the Halen West Railroad Company, and for those of you on the kind of the ear on the underground, you've heard tale of the Red Hand being in these facilities, kind of working about their mischievous ways. So,
okay. All right. One last question.
hit me.
Would we be out of place here? Do we blend in the crowd, or we just?
So,
I am really out of place.
I was gonna say, I'm sure a lot of you would seem out of place. Like,
Okay.
obviously, probably like Sedina would be out of place. Renee could probably work himself into any place. There's usually soldiers walking around looking for work, but it's just that time of night where you haven't really gone into the area where the warehouses are. You kind of just came up on it and you see everybody coming out. So it's
Basically,
not
they're all
like,
kind of leaving work for the day.
Mm.
Kind of.
yeah. So it's not really that you're like a bunch of ragtag people that are in an odd place. You're just, maybe you're just a group of friends walking by. Maybe you come from a different area and you wanted to hit a different bar than you normally hit at the night. It's nothing that's out of place right now. You're just, right now it just seems like you're a group of friends.
Is there any
Just
kind
on the outskirts of these warehouses.
on the outskirts? Are there any pubs or wine shops or anything like that we could kind of stand in front of to kind of watch?
Oh yeah, of course.
At a reasonable distance. So.
Follow the line. Obviously,
yeah.
there's you can definitely. There's definitely going to be some like outside seatings and
Okay.
at one of these pubs, so you can just keep an eye on the warehouses and what's going on.
So
if you want to take a little bit of time.
Because that would be my suggestion, would be to find a place to basically stop. We don't look completely out of place, and then we can kind of observe and kind of plan from there, kind of what we want to do. So
As discreetly as possible. which is not very discreet in this case. Renee is going to pull out some pamphlets from his satchel that he carries with him.
I was going to start juggling or something.
Yeah.
or the infinite pocket in the jar.
Right, exactly. Yes. And then he's going to be he's going to start sticking them up on the walls beside the pubs, the taverns there, and things like that. Because people need to know, and this is just marketing. This is just advertising.
Oh yeah, sure. you can tell that there have been stuff that's been hanging there for ages. This is nothing. He's
just gonna put his rate over top of that.
Yeah.
Slap it right up on top. Just cover that stuff up.
One of the signs you cover up is have you seen this person?
Right, it just slaps it up. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
right. Yeah,
that's right. Just
see
puts
this
it up there.
person.
That's right, exactly. See this person. Go looking for this person. Yeah, this show. Every night, this time, this place. Yeah, the wonderful, extraordinary magic of Rene Duchelet. So that's what he's doing at the moment, and he looks perfectly in place doing that. He just looks like he's doing exactly what he would be doing. So yeah.
And so I imagine Dr. Cooper he's just shaking his head. It's like,
he has no shame.
Jasper's gonna point out to the others which of the warehouses Jasper was attempting to get into where there was less activity.
Yeah, you can. He's pointing into, from what you can see, just in the very center of this one. It doesn't really stand out as any different, but you can tell that while the other warehouses are kind of cold and bearing, this one seems to be a little colder, a little you can tell just by looks that something is off, and just as you watch, for any that's taking some time, let's see some survey rolls for anyone that's taking a little time to survey what Jasper pointed at.
Okay, yeah, I will. I would take that survey roll.
Go for it.
What do I get? Okay, I got a 4 and a 3.
Got a 1. Just ignore me.
He may look distracted, like he's doing the whole poster marketing thing, but he's keeping an eye on everything, and he got a 6 on that, so
that's fun.
Yeah.
Jasper also rolled a 6.
Very nice.
All right.
Sedena rolled a 2. She's still kind of tailing behind Timothy and trying to stay out of Renee's path.
All right. So those with the 6, you can tell that there are definitely something that is going on. You've seen it hasn't been a lot of people, but most everybody has left. However, you've seen some people skulking around. Seems like they're guarding. It's an odd thing. You see them once, twice. Now it seems to be kind of a circuit. They're definitely guarding.
Yeah. And Renee's gonna look at Jasper and yeah.
So that's definitely the one you're looking at. Now, obviously, you're not going to, from this distance, you can't make out anything that they might be carrying or holding or what they look like. person-wise. However, you have seen them come by in a sort of style that would make you assume that they were guarding.
What do we want to do?
Dr. Cooper's like, obviously, we want to get in. The question is how.
Perhaps a distraction.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Great minds, right?
Indeed.
And he's gonna, basically like tuck on his lapels there and like, let me handle this. I think I got what we need here. Little look over here while we go in over here, that sort of thing. Am I right?
I'm gonna get another ale. This might take a while.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Renee. What were you wanting?
He is going to create a distraction.
All right.
He's going to get the attention of these sentinels, these guards. He's going to make himself a whole scene of himself, in front of them. He's going to make sure he has all their attention.
Okay. So,
Make a spectacle of himself.
That's right. Oh yeah.
So you're, just to be clear, okay, you're walking in the middle of this warehouse district to in front of these. Are you just gonna like set up a stand to try to do like an impromptu show in front of this warehouse? Or are you going to stay at the entrance of the warehouses and set up your impromptu show?
Whatever would facilitate my allies' ability to infiltrate said warehouse is what he will do. My intent is basically to do an impromptu street magic show. And something that would at least capture the interest of these patrolling sentries, even if they have no interest in magic, right? Something that would definitely draw all their eyes, keep their attention on me, while my erstwhile companions find their way into the warehouse we want to break into. And then, of course, I will deal with the sentries, once that has occurred.
Makes sense. All right, let's see.
I'm thinking a hide roll, to distract them, in terms of mechanics.
That sounds like a plan to me.
He's going to be like, leave it to me. I got this.
Make sure if you want to use any drives to get any extra dice that you
definitely.
Do that.
He's definitely using drives. He's going to pull out all the tricks because obviously these folks might not be friendly. They might not want to be distracted. And this is a very important thing for the rest of his group. So he's going to need to pull this off one way or another. So, yeah. So he's going to pull out the drives, yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. So, and of course he's got a gilded dice on hides, so he also has that going for him. But let me see here.
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to add drive to it. And there we go. Okay, well, I'm not going to go with the gilded dice because that's only 2, but I got a 6 and a 4 on the other ones.
Perfect.
So,
all right, so
what happens is he's got cards coming right out of the
Tell me what your show is.
Yes, exactly.
Crazy.
And then there's a rabbit peeking its head out, and he's just like, Gentlemen, come over here. You need to know, you need to see what I've got for you tonight, and he is just going to be like Carnival Barker. Like you see his whole personality transform. He's already, just normally, he's already chattery. He's already, face. But this is a man who's stepping right into his act, So yeah, he is completely doing that.
So as you well know, when you start getting into your magic act and getting into your performance and getting into it, that you had one objective. However, when that starts, you're pulling everybody.
He's bringing everybody to the hall.
You've got people walking from the pubs, maybe that might be walking home. That's just like, all right, I haven't seen a magic show in some time.
That's right.
This might be a good ending to a crappy day.
That's right.
And they're
come on over here. I got you. Come on up. Bring your friends too.
They're watching you pull. They're watching you pull your tricks and all sorts of just your random stuff that you normally have on you. Just always paying attention, and you guys know that this is your time. Yeah. So you keep watching, and these guards, they seem to take a peek, and they're just like, maybe we've got time. So they kind of look around, and they're just like, and it's just like, Jasper, you can feel when it's that time, and it's that time now.
All right, I'll back into everybody else and swiftly start making my way over to the warehouse.
Yeah, Timothy's gonna put his glass down and follow, but trying to move. Maybe like if Jasper goes left, he kind of goes right, so they're not kind of following each other, but can kind of keep an eye on each other through the crowd.
That's absolutely fine. Everybody, let's do that. Let's do that hide roll.
Okay.
This is where it's going to get fun.
Okay, so I have no pips in hide, like none.
Neither do I.
There you go. So, what you can do is, you can, if you don't have any drive, then obviously you can't spend them. However, if somebody wanted to help you and use a drive, then you can get an extra. Well, it'd bring you up to one die instead of.
All right. So I want to make sure I'm doing this right. My intuition has the drive, so I can't use them in any other, right?
Nope.
Okay.
You can only for hide. You'd have to have drives and cunning.
Okay. Yeah. I don't. So.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Is it possible to use drive to assist, like in this situation, and also to spend additional drive for your own roll?
Absolutely. If you want to give them a drive, that would be one each for them. That bring them up to one die, and then you can use a drive or whatever drives you have for yourself as well.
You know what? I'm not gonna go inside. I'm gonna stay with Renee.
Okay, that's fine as well.
The reason being is like I don't want any of you guys wasting drive, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to roll 2, right, and take the lowest, right?
Unless you're given, if you're given a drive, then you'll get a die. So you won't have to roll both. You'll just have to roll a die.
Yeah, no, it's not worth it. So I will elect to stay with Renee, and
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have, say, 1 dot in hide. Can I put in or add like my move, run, dodge, navigate, or is that adding like a drive from that?
That unfortunately, no. Yeah, you can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think.
The only reason I'm picking hide is because it's more of a sneak than a run or dodge.
Okay. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my hide, and then I'm adding 1 die for one of my drives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let me do
Yep.
that.
And Sadina, are you
that's-
also coming in with us
Yeah.
into the warehouse? I can give you one of my drives.
So you'll roll 1 dice, and that's
Okay.
what you take instead of rolling 2 and taking the lower.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. And I'll do that then.
For Sadina.
Okay. So let me just roll mine then.
And then I'll also... So I'm burning a total of 2 drives, 1 for Sadina and 1 for Jasper.
Sounds good.
All right, and I've already spent a drive for me, so I'm getting 2 dice.
Oh, so you're going to get 2 dice then. Good.
Right.
Okay. So I'm adding in a drive, and then I got a 4 and a 2.
Okay.
I got a 6.
What was that, Sadina?
I got a 5.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Jasper?
Go team.
6.
6. Perfect. So this is where teamwork comes in. So with the noise of the crowd and the noise of Renee and just how comfortable Jasper is and how he got a feel of it already, he kind of helps navigate in around. However, Timothy, you are kind of following behind. You are being a little more noisy, so you know maybe some focus is pulled that way, but Jasper quickly pulls you out of the way so that maybe they're just looking in that direction, but they don't see anything. Sadina, you were doing very well in keeping up with both Timothy and Jasper. It's surprising yourself. However, you do not match, what you see in Jasper. You've never seen somebody move this comfortably, this quietly, as you navigate into where this warehouse is, and you see that that just you come up to this warehouse, and the odd thing is there seems to be like a door just right there when it's just and that's where you guys are right this very second. You guys made it there, and Renee is still going on and on.
Go all night.
So you guys make it up to the door. So you make it up to the warehouse in general. So I'll let you tell me where you're going. There, the front of it where you can see does have a door, but you don't see any other from where you are. You don't see any other like outward like windows or anything like that. It's just a normal like. There's maybe a few windows, but they're up out of reach.
Would we have time to try to walk around the place to see
Yeah, absolutely.
a back door or something like that?
Take your time. From what you can see, there's not really any other entrance or exit. Like the windows are up, but just like any warehouse, they're like way out of reach, and just for some odd reason, this one's made very peculiar.
Just wasn't sure if there was like a back section for bringing wagons in, and I think of it as a truck bay, but nothing like that.
Which is really odd.
Yeah.
That's now that you're up there looking at it, you kind of are just like, this is not a normal typical warehouse.
Okay. All right. So I guess front door it is.
If I may, Jasper would like to just gently ease the door open just enough to try to peek in and assess if anybody is within a nearby distance on the interior.
So you try You try the handle. Doesn't give. Seems to be locked.
Anybody have? I have sleight of hand, hide, but I don't know if anybody has anything. I only have one dot in it, so I don't know if anybody's any better at it.
No, I'm afraid not. I haven't picked many locks.
I'll look over at Jasper.
Is this a lock? Is there like a visible lock on the door, or is it?
Yeah, it's just like you would. You see the handle and the lock beneath it.
Okay. And is it just like a key to unlock it?
Mhm.
Okay. Sure, I can give it a try.
Give it a shot.
Timothy's more with the brute strength, so which you don't want to do right now. So.
Right.
Give me another little hide.
All right. I'll go ahead and burn another drive.
Go for it. Smoke them if you got them.
That's the last one I got. So let's go. Oh, snake eyes.
Ruh-roh.
New ones.
Do you have a gilded?
Not on that one. No.
Oh dang. That's
Might be
sick.
time for that brute strength.
So yeah, the lock you try. You've done this before. It's just something's not working with you today.
Performance anxiety. So
Mm.
I can try
What
it.
is that?
I can try it, and I can burn a drive to see if.
You wanna try to sleight of hand, or do you want to
Yeah. I'm gonna do sleight of hand.
try to strike?
Sleight of hand. He's gonna do hide,
All right, go for it.
and then I'm burning a drive.
Go
So,
for it.
oof, 3 and a 1. No.
No. Just like any TTRPG, the door is the big bad, and it is thwarting your efforts.
I can.
Could I use an ability of mine?
Sure.
It's called Scout. If you have time to observe a location, you could spend 1 intuition to ask a question. And the question I'm curious in is, what path should we follow? Would that be something that could apply to this situation in terms of like, could we figure out maybe who's likely to have the key or find another way in?
Yeah, absolutely. So, while in your observation, you did notice that there were a couple people that went in. Now, you saw their hand go up and knock, but you couldn't hear anything. You couldn't hear if it was a specific knock. You couldn't do that. However, you did see the knock, and then a little bit, and then the door would open. Also, I mean, it's safe to assume that one of the guards is going to have a key, if not both of them.
I'll relay this to Sedina and Timothy. All right, so so either we can take our chances and try to surprise whoever is on the other side, or
We can try the knock.
all right.
I can say I'm looking for my friend.
All right, sounds good to me. We can
Yeah.
stand nearby in case things go sideways.
Yeah, I mean,
it's when you
if
send
they
in the tank.
Right. If they don't buy it, you can always punch them in the face.
Yeah. That's probably. He's gonna look over at Sedana.
I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe
You may want to Yeah, you may want to
Find some boxes to hide behind.
Jasper gives a little help yourself sort of gesture and slides out of the way.
He's gonna turn around and see if anybody's watching. First of all,
Still going with strong with the magic.
all right.
He's got a rabbit out now. It's like hopping around and everything like that.
Yeah,
And he's really focusing on the guards. He's like got his. He knows how to work a crowd because that's basically that's 75% of what he does.
Yeah,
so,
he's probably by now pulled the guards on.
Yeah.
Snow
Oh yeah.
and,
He's so you're in the clear. You're good. Yeah.
All right.
Is the rabbit living or fake?
Oh, it's both. Yeah. Sometimes it goes limp.
Magic.
Sometimes it bounces around. Yeah.
Hunter's rabbit.
All right.
Don't ask questions. Magician never tells a secret.
But I'm a detective. I have to know.
Timothy will walk up and just knock, knock, knock.
So right as you knock, you see just like the old cliche. Password.
Magic show.
Who sent you?
The hand.
Door closes, or not the door. The slide closes.
Mhm.
You hear fumbling at the lock. Give me. Hold on. Let's see. Give me a read.
Read? Okay.
Yeah.
I got a 6.
Oh.
Clutch.
Okay. That wasn't right. And you know he's not coming out to say hi.
Okay. It's fine. He is then going to ready his let's see. I would say he has a knife.
I was gonna say, surely you have a pistol or something, right?
Well, it says hand weapon. I only get like 1, right?
You can have it's an equipment. You can have whatever.
Oh, okay.
Remember what
Okay.
I told you. Remember what I told you. You can have it, whatever your character. I mean, like Sebastian said, you being a soldier. I'm going to assume that you still have your a service pistol.
Yeah. That's probably what he would have.
So
Okay.
Bazooka.
yeah,
Then he's got it ready. So
by all means, if you're just like, I'm going to try a password. If I don't feel it's going to work, all right, they're going to open the door.
All right. While
Okay.
he's doing that, I am distracted and looking around, seeing if I can find any loose boards where I am that I can pry open a little bit more and get in. So I was hoping for a survey roll to find something.
Okay, go for it.
All right, and I'm adding a drive to that. All right, I got a 4, so I need success.
You got a 4. And what were you saying you were looking for? I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Oh, I'm looking for any loose boards that I can pry open and see if I can squeeze through.
Okay, when they open the door is what
Yeah.
you're...
Yeah, using that as a distraction, I'm going to find another way in.
Okay. So the door opens. I would assume you walked around with them when I told them that there wasn't any other openings. So what I feel you can do, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. What I feel you can do is, as the door opens and this guy just kind of comes out, you can just like shove that board there to stop that door from closing all the way.
That sounds good. I'll do that.
All right.
And And what
And
I'm hoping,
that dude comes out, and he's just like,
step back inside.
and he looks down, he sees the board, and he's just like, and he's literally like, "You've got this, man."
And if he tries anything, I'm going to pistol whip him.
All
I
right.
want just like go inside.
He hasn't tried anything. He's following your directions. So you guys are inside. Renee, you're working the crowd, but you're also keeping an eye on your friends. You see them all go into the warehouse. So they are in.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So however you wanted to continue or wrap it up, that is completely up to you. But we'll stick with you for a bit while just in case if you wanted to find out a way to get inside.
Yeah. Well, now that I've made a huge spectacle of myself,
Of course.
yeah.
And there's a crowd.
Yeah. So I'm currently thinking about how to use the crowd to kind of draw away, because I can't rightly just say, okay, show's over and head inside, can I? Right? I don't think that's gonna work.
The guards are buying free drinks at the pub.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you know what? I like that. I do. I'm going to sway the crowd and point to these guys right here. I'm like, you know what? Everybody, thank you for coming out tonight. I've got a special treat for you for this impromptu show. These two over here are my good friends, and they have offered to buy everyone a drink tonight at the local pub. That starts right away. Since the show is over, I'm gonna be right over there in just a little bit. But I want you to head over and you just go with them. And you know what? If they pretend like they don't know what I'm talking about, that's just part of the act, folks. You drag them to that pub and you make sure that they give you the free drinks you're owed. So, yeah.
All right. Give me that sway roll.
All right. I'm gonna. Yeah. Let's see how we do here. I'm on 6. That's a 5. That's a 5 on the gilded dice.
So, ending this down, coming to the logical ending that you can. You've been doing these shows forever. You know how to wind down a crowd. You know how to end your shows. And you say your bit of these two gentlemen will buy your drinks. And obviously, a big part of the crowd just like, yeah! Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
We're ready. All right. And they start going, and they're booking, and they grab a hold of one.
They just grab a hold of it. They're
Another,
like, no!
grab a hold of the other. And Dr. Cooper, within the crowd, you're seeing that while they did get grabbed, they are quickly getting out of this crowd. They don't want to be here. So they're breaking their grasp. They're trying to get out. So you both have limited time.
Yeah.
So you guys have got very little time to get going.
This is all the distraction we need, and Renee's gonna look at Dr. Cooper and be like, like just kind of like, mouthing to him like, "Let's go." Are you muted?
You're muted, sir.
Oh, sorry about that. Dr. Cooper sees what's going on. He's looking around. He's like, man, I'm gonna have to find a way to get to that warehouse. I can't move.
You can navigate. You just know that your time is limited. because
Okay.
those dudes are coming.
Yeah, in fact,
You-
Renee's just going to
you
move right
got-
to him and grab him and be like,
Yeah,
"We're
you
going
got
right now."
you can navigate yourself
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I'm just telling you that you have a very limited time, just
Okay.
because it wasn't a full success.
Okay, let's go.
Come on, we're getting out of here. So we're going to follow in. Thank you, Sedina, for propping that door open.
Yeah.
Really
So
moved there.
you see that the doors propped open, so you don't have to knock or anything. However, you do notice that a couple people saw you leave.
Of
So,
course, yeah.
So because obviously, they need a signature. You're important.
Right. And
Yeah.
he's just like, I'll be right there with you. No, like, no
And
problem.
so
You get your
you
drink.
walk-
like
you walk in, and I assume you immediately just throw the board out so you can.
Oh yeah. No, that's not even a question. As soon as Dr. Cooper's through, he just tosses the board out. He doesn't want anybody following him. Yeah, turns the lock.
You see Timothy. As soon as you walk in, you got Timothy right here with a gentleman at the other end.
Tim, he's just doing his thing. I get it, So like, yeah.
So- The gentleman is just like, you are making a big mistake.
Tell me why that is.
You have no idea what you're doing, do you?
I have an ability I want to use, but I want to let everybody else look around first before I burn it.
Go for it.
So,
Yeah, could I use... I was thinking of survey, focus, sense, or read. I don't know.
Let's see. Let's take a look here. Survey's going to get you. Survey's going to get you a search. That's probably going to be the best for kind of looking around. So survey, yeah. That's going to be your kind of look around. You've got search, track, and spot. So by
Okay.
all means,
Yeah, I want to use survey then.
everybody that wants to, you are more than welcome to.
Is it possible if I could use a sense and see if I can find out, if there's anything mystical going on here?
Oh, I wish you would.
Ooh. 2 6s and a 5.
Ho ho ho.
Okay. So I got a 3 and a 4.
Okay.
And I've got a 4 on a gilded.
Okay. Perfect.
I've
Alright.
got a 6 on survey.
All right. So, Jasper, you start looking around. You are seeing various like doors and hallways, and you see that there are multiple people that have walked down this hallway and ended up in different doors. You hear the different sounds coming from the doors, and then at the end of the hallway for you, without going anywhere, just because you had those 2 6s, at the end of the hallway for you, you see a doorway, not a door, that has the very hint of steps that go down. Renee, with your 6, you see the doors. You see that there is a lot of traffic that comes in, and that's what you see. Sedina, you feel something. You're not able to tell what it is. You can go off of maybe what you've read that this might be something spiritual. However, you were just told about bleed too. So could be that. It's hard to tell, but you are feeling like there is that little hint of something.
Is it a general something, or is there seems to be a path?
Just as your role is, it's a general something.
There is something here, but I don't know what it is.
So,
Wait,
Dr. Cooper asks, is it magic?
I cannot
Don't know. So, could I use my bleed detector?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll mark that.
So what does your bleed detector look like?
I want it to be a doctor's instrument.
Okay.
I can't think.
Stethoscope?
Stethoscope
Yeah.
might work, or
Yeah,
maybe one of the lights to look, like they look into your eyes or down your throat, something like that.
yeah. Okay, so it's
So
it
whatever.
would it looks like something you would check your eyes, ears, and throat,
Mhm.
right? It's got a little light on the end of it, and so he pulls it out of his bag and he starts to.
So you turn it on, and like a normal light would show up and be like a flashlight and stuff like this. You have this very special button that you click. That click turns that light into kind of like for lack of a better term, kind of like a black light. Like you would use to see blood. However, this one is more of like a reddish light, like along that kind of hue in the spectrum, but it's just kind of off. So it's what you can see, and you take a look, and it's just you see that there are little drops of bleed that has happened. It seems like maybe from a while ago, maybe some a little bit more recent but it's like all throughout this walkway of where you can just look in your immediate vicinity of just these little droplets and remnants of bleed. So something is going on.
Okay. So I want to go back to that prisoner we have. And I want to. Maybe I shouldn't question him, but I will alert the group to let them know it's like I'm getting a small detection of bleed here. So I asked Timothy, can you bring our compatriot over here, please?
Sure. Grab him by his collar and just gonna shove him over.
Yeah,
Bring him over.
he's not fighting. He knows what's going to happen if he fights. So he's fully cooperative as of right now.
Okay. So I want to. Can I ask him a question and use read to interpret body language or spot a lie?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So ask your question.
So let's see. I'm trying to think. there are two questions I'm trying to think of asking. One, I was gonna ask, has there been any? One I was gonna ask, has there been any objects or things that have been suspicious that have been through here? The other thing I wanted to know is has to deal with the woman, because I have a hunch this is where she got injured at. Has anyone been injured here under mysterious circumstances? And I don't know which one I want to use.
That's completely up to you. I'll let you pick.
Well, I'll ask the group. Which ones do you think I should ask?
Well, he knows what's going on, so whether or not he's going to think what's mysterious to him or not. But you had asked about a woman. That might be the better angle, I think. I was going to ask if there was a way I could assist in essentially intimidating him.
Sure.
Being like, yeah, you really want to answer his questions truthfully. So
By all means.
Yeah.
I think he's already plenty intimidated by
and that's fine. I don't want to overdo it.
No,
but if it seems like he's gonna, be like, well, I'm not gonna tell you, then smack him around a little bit.
100%, go for it.
Okay, but I think the woman question would be a better angle. That's my opinion.
Agreed.
Okay, yeah. So, Dr. Cooper will ask the man. So, there was a woman who visited my clinic a little while back. She told me she worked in this area. She had a very peculiar injury. So he's looking at him. He's asking him point blank, have you heard anything about this?
And he looks right at you, and he still has his hands up, and he's the only thing that I know for me is I am to stand by this door. When somebody knocks, I ask for the password. If they tell me the right password, I let them in. If they tell me the wrong password, I come out and I beat them up.
Fair enough.
As for certain people, I've seen men, I've seen women, I've seen all sorts of people walk in and out of here. As for my job, I am at this door, I am asking for a password, and I am either sending them in or taking care of them.
So, okay. Oh, cool. So I got one more question I want to ask, if that's okay.
I'm sure he'd love to answer all your questions.
I love the good cop, bad cop thing going on here.
I asked him, okay, fair enough. So, who do you work for?
Good question.
Well, I guess you could say that I work for eons.
Okay.
Renee is after Timothy and Sebastian have had their interrogation fun. Renee is going to approach, come into the view of this intimidated individual and say, would you happen to be able to take us where the Aeons go when they come through the door? Is there an office or some place that they normally go? Obviously, you let everybody in. You see where they go.
Actually, yeah, you're right. I see where people go.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what's behind these doors. My job is to stay at this door, ask for the password, let them in, or beat them up.
I'd love to see his job description. So,
Pretty sure I told you my job description.
Just a narc. I've got a question. Jasper will approach and say, what do you observe from your position about the stairs that go down at the end of the hallway?
I've seen very few go down those stairs. And once you go down, there's no coming up. At least from what I've seen.
Great. That's where we're going. You're going to lead the way. Come on.
I'll give him just a friendly little nudge, like, let's go.
So you can tell he is definitely cooperating, but you can see like the sweat begin to be, you can see like this is like when he said that he was serious. And he keeps going, he's just like, I will keep quiet. I will not say a thing. Please. I don't want to go down there.
What's your name, friend?
Sorry. My brain is off mode, so I brought up a whole lot. Elias.
It's all right. Elias. We're gonna make sure that nothing happens to you, and that you're gonna be able to leave tonight safely. But you gotta work with us. Can
Okay.
you do that, Elias?
I would like to leave here.
Okay. So if you know more than you're letting on, now would be the time to tell us.
The Eons are very secretive, and so they hire certain people for certain places. I'm surprised you got through the guards outside. And
We're all kinds of amazing. Yeah.
and the fact that they haven't made it at least to the door to knock is very surprising.
What's the password, by the way?
You want to leave here tonight, right? We want that too. Why don't you just tell him?
Because when we go check this, we might have somebody else do your job for you.
Right, exactly.
That's cool.
You know, I mean, they might, who knows, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, you said nobody comes back from these stairs, and you're definitely going down tonight. So regardless of what this man over here says, I mean, I can't vouch for your safety, and it'd be best to just pass that information along.
Greed is the source of power.
Please, a source of power. Okay.
It's a hot passphrase. I gotta be honest. Like,
There's like an underscore between the words. No, just kidding.
Look, sometimes the brain works. Okay?
Okay. Well, thanks, Elias.
Am I free to?
What do you think? What do you think, team?
I still think he needs to take us down the stairs. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
he needs to come with us.
That's
I
part
do
of the
not
deal.
trust
Yeah.
him.
Okay.
Look, I like you, Elias. I do, but you know this place better than we do, and I frankly don't feel comfortable without you leading the way. So, you're big and strong, man. I'm sure you can handle yourself. Just go ahead and take us down the stairs.
Yeah.
I'm right
Yeah.
behind you.
So you guys keep walking. I'm assuming you're letting Elias lead.
Oh yeah,
I'd actually like to keep just a hand like on his shoulder.
I'd like that too. Yeah.
Well, I have the gun in his bag, so that if he tries to move, I can grab him. So.
Renee just like gives a little buddy clap.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. He's just like, I got you, man. You're good.
So you get closer and closer, and you can see, Timothy, you're right there. You can see that he does not, this is not comfortable for him. He does not, it's not that he's fighting, but just the drenched in sweat and nervousness, and his steady hands at the door are now jazz hands for no reason. And I need you to make me I will call it a strike.
Okay.
Please.
Sedana steps forward just slightly, and in her mind, thinks she's helping, but she tells Elias, you want to know something? The hearing is the last sense you lose before you die. And then she steps back.
I got a 4 and a 3.
4 and a 3.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So, all right, mixed success. All right, so, all right. You definitely feel that he is going to bolt.
Okay.
He goes to turn and yank away from you, but you do get a grasp on him, but it's not a full of a grasp as you want. And so he's starting to slip through your hands. I will give you something to kind of react to it, but he is going to slip away from you.
Now, is he trying to go back up the stairs?
Yeah, he's trying to get away from the stairs. He does not want to go down.
So then if he gets past me, we've got the rest of the group there, so they would be able to potentially try to stop
Assuming
him
as
well.
much, yes.
So, okay.
But I'll give you a reaction if you want.
Okay. All right. So is that another strike roll? Or
You can do another strike. Are you trying to just knock him out?
Yeah.
You can do a control to shoot him.
I don't think I want to shoot. If anything, I want to try to grab him. And is there a wall next to the stairs?
Yeah. So you're in
grab
a
him and just slam him into the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I want to add a drive into that.
Go for it.
Let's see. Okay. Right. I got a 5, a 4, and a 2.
All right. So you do get your other hand up, and you do slam him up against the wall, and you have him right there. However, because of his reaction, he does kind of strike back and headbutt you right in the nose. So you're gonna have to take a body. I'm sorry.
Oh, Elias, really? Thought we had something special.
I know, right? That's no way to be.
And as you got him pinned there, he's just like, I don't want to go down those stairs. Nobody comes back up. Please. I don't care if you knock me out. I don't care if you shoot me. I don't want to go.
All right. We'll tie him up. Gag him.
So
Doesn't that just mean that there's another way out? it's a tunnel?
I don't know. I just know that they don't come back out.
Yeah.
So Dr. Cooper is going to ask him another question. So who goes down here?
Only certain people. I don't know who they are. I've seen very little. Again, we do not get told anything. I just allow people in.
Well, let me ask you this. These people that come down here, are they under duress or is it under their free will?
We've had both. We've had some that come in on their free will, and we've had some that we've dragged in. I'm not trying to lie or fight. I just don't want to go down those stairs. Talking like I would have my hands. He's obviously up against the wall.
Yeah. I'm gonna just try to. I'm gonna basically just take him up the stairs, and I don't want him running. So I'm gonna see if we have any rope or anything we can like tie him up and
You
gag
can
him.
find. Yeah, you can find something.
All right.
Renee
Be
pulls
like-
out some rope.
I was gonna say you probably you know.
Some handcuffs.
Yeah.
That's
and-
Right. Oh yeah.
And tie him up. And I'm gonna like put him down and be like, Elias, I think you've been straight with us. So you're gonna get out of here, but you just gotta be quiet.
You're gonna gag him, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna gag him.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I want to say you probably got one of those like handkerchiefs that go on. for,
Oh
like,
yeah. I've got whatever you
He's like-
need.
Put it in
Yeah.
his mouth.
He's just like,
Hang on. We're almost there.
Exactly.
Hang on. Red, green, purple. Come on. I know we're getting to the
exactly. You
end.
got it. Yeah.
Okay. So, while Timothy is doing that, I want to ask, can I do my special? Am I
Okay.
allowed to do that?
Yeah. What would you like to do?
So I have patch up as a doctor.
Okay.
So I can make a focus roll to heal one body mark on an ally.
Do it.
So okay.
Dr. Cooper's gonna fix your broken nose.
Still.
Okay.
this is gonna hurt more than it hurts right now.
Let me just straighten that out.
Take focus. So what? I had to spend 2 intuition. Okay. Yeah. So if this works, I have to spend two drives in intuition, but that's fine. So let's see. Focus. Okay. Let's roll. Oh. Hell yeah. That's a 5 and I'm sorry. That's a 5 and a 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So let's see. Hold on. I gotta see how much. So. Okay, so I only have to spend 1 into right. So all right, so I've used 1 drive, and you have you can clear 1 body mark.
Thank you.
So yeah, the doctor comes over, and just like you said, it's just
Crack. Yeah.
Amazing.
puts it back, feels,
Tape
make
for
sure
my nose.
make sure it's in the right spot, wipes up the blood,
Thanks. Doc.
normal doctor stuff. All right, so that is where we'll be. I've got my note to where we are right now, so we'll be at that top of the stairs of the warehouse.
Sounds good.
So I think we'll wrap up there,
Awesome.
since Renee has other
have to
things
get going.
do,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Sorry,
because-
it's my fault.
No.
Very active.
No. To be clear, I also have work in the morning.
Yeah.
But I hope you enjoyed this first episode. We will
Yeah.
continue on next week. I hope I
Same
was
time?
able to same time.
Good time.
Okay.
I hope I was able to answer all your questions and
Yeah.
walk you through the beginning of a interesting story.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ray.
Yeah, this is getting interesting.
Yeah,
The next
thank you
question
very
I
much.
have: do we actually want to go down the doors, or
Oh, yeah.
maybe we should do
I
something
don't
else?
know what's down there.
We got a week to find out. All right.
I'm thinking. Oh,
Don't
There's
get
a
cold
lot.
feet on me now, Doc. All right, we're heading down.
well, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe if we swore him the god of secrecy, we just leave and maybe see if we can get some other people to interview to see what is down those doorsteps.
It's true. It's true. We still have a whole nother place to check.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, since you're normally the one that closes this out, how would you like to close us out?
Yeah. Thanks again for everybody who watched the stream tonight and joined in. Well, thank you to Ray for running this game. It's a lot of fun. And we will be back again next Tuesday for the next episode. So thanks again, everybody, and we will see you all again next week. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Bye.
And